There is a profound, often overlooked truth in human interaction. It is not the barking dog you need to worry about. It is the one who sits in the corner watching, listening, and saying absolutely nothing. That is the individual you must deeply respect. If you are the quietest person in the room, you know the dismissive assumptions people make. They mistake your silence for shyness. They talk over you. They think you are slow, disengaged, or simply that because you aren't broadcasting every thought, you don't have any worthy thoughts at all. But those assessments are fundamentally wrong. Behavioral psychology suggests that the quietest person is often the most formidable operator in any social structure. While everyone else is expending energy seeking fleeting attention, you are doing something far more dangerous and valuable. You are collecting actionable data. Here is why people should not merely respect, but feel a primal intimidation around the person who chooses to stay silent. We begin with the concept of information asymmetry. Most people are transparently loud. When someone talks constantly, they are revealing their entire hand. They show you their insecurities, they outline their half-baked plans, and they hand you the precise blueprint to manipulate them by exposing their emotional triggers. They are an open book with no security. But you are a fortified vault. By staying silent, you create a massive, psychological power vacuum. The human mind is profoundly uncomfortable with the unknown. When people can't read your reactions, when they cannot place you in a neat, predictable box, they project their own fears, insecurities, and assumptions onto you. You become a blank slate that doesn't just confuse them, but reflects their own deepest anxieties back at them. Your silence is not a sign of emptiness, it is a calculated weapon. You are not quiet because you lack something to say. You are quiet because you are engaged in an immediate, high-stakes threat assessment of the environment and the individuals within it before you choose to commit your resources. You are playing a complex, multi-layered game of chess while they are wasting pieces on checkers. But the accumulation of data is only the foundational layer of power. The true source of the quiet person's potency isn't just that they know everything you said. It's their mastery over what they choose not to say. This leads us to the second formidable trait, the economy of action. In advanced behavioral psychology, there is a critical, measurable difference between a reaction and a response. Loud reactive people are essentially slaves to their immediate impulses. If you poke them, they explode in a predictable way. Their behavior is an easily exploitable algorithm. They are predictable. The quiet individual, however, has achieved mastery over the critical gap between a stimulus and their subsequent action. You possess what is clinically known as high inhibitory control. You can feel intense anger, profound excitement, or deep offense. And your facial muscles will not twitch, your expression will not change. This makes you fundamentally impossible to control through typical social manipulation tactics. Manipulators, people who rely on baiting others into a predictable reaction, hate you because their tricks simply do not work on you. You never take the emotional bait. When you finally choose to speak, the entire room goes silent. Why? Because of the principle of scarcity. In basic economics, the more abundant a commodity is, the less it is ultimately worth. Words operate under the exact same law. When you flood the market with unnecessary noise, your currency or speech becomes devalued. Your silence, therefore, drives up the value of your speech exponentially. When the quiet person speaks, their statement cuts through the previous noise and chatter like a sharpened knife because every single listener understands. This individual does not waste their breath on nonsense, and what they are saying is necessary and high value. The weight of their previous silence is now transferred to the impact of their words. Now, having superior impulse control and expert observation skills makes you intellectually strong, but it still doesn't fully explain the intense, almost primal intimidation and deference that people often feel around you. That powerful, unnerving sensation actually stems from the next psychological trait, which is perhaps the most defining and most difficult for others to grasp. It is called self-sufficiency. The majority of people make noise, they talk constantly, they seek out drama, they broadcast their opinions because they require constant external validation to confirm their existence and make them feel emotionally alive. They need the room to look at them, to laugh with them, or even to argue with them, just to confirm that they are relevant. The quiet person has no such need. If you are comfortable, composed, and content in a state of extended silence, it signals an immediate, unmistakable high status. It signals a profound truth. You do not require anything, not approval, not attention, not emotional sustenance from the people around you. You are not begging for approval. You are simply existing, unbothered. In evolutionary psychology and observed group dynamics, the actual leader isn't the one screaming the loudest or demanding attention. The true leader is the one who remains the calmest, most anchored presence in the midst of chaos. People are intimidated by you because they sense that you are perfectly fine on your own. You cannot be socially starved into emotional submission. You are a fortress while they are running around trying to be liked and accepted by the herd. You are sitting there, perfectly content, simply watching their theatrical performance. That level of absolute psychological independence is profoundly terrifying to people whose entire sense of self relies on the presence, validation, and feedback of the group. So, let us reframe this widespread misinterpretation of your behavior. Society relentlessly tells introverts and quiet people that they must come out of their shells, that they must become more outgoing, and that noise is the only path to professional or social success. Do not listen to that counsel. It is advice rooted in fear and misunderstanding. Your silence is not a defect. It is not an absence of personality. Your silence is a refined filter. It automatically keeps the foolish, transactional, and exhausting people away, while simultaneously commanding immediate, deep respect from the wise, strategic, and successful ones. You do not need to be loud to be powerful. Think of the natural world. A lion does not need to waste energy on a constant roar to communicate its danger. It merely has to meet your gaze. So, the next time someone attempts to corner you and asks the predictable question, "Why are you so quiet?" simply allow a knowing, subtle smile to cross your face. Let them wonder. You know exactly what you are doing. You are not hiding from the world. You are strategically waiting for the precise moment when your action, or your single statement, will have maximum, undeniable impact. If you are part of the silent club, the strategists, the individuals who understand the profound power of inhibitory control, let the world know we are here. And if you appreciate this deep dive into the psychology of strategic power, ensure you subscribe and join the community so you do not miss the next essential revelation. The strongest person in the room is often the one you never saw coming. Like and subscribe if I opened your mind to something new.